now that your child has joined a competitive swim team, there's so much for them and for you to learn about the sport of swimming. Right? They're going to go to practice every day, and the coach is going to give them information, which they need to focus on and then try to implement. Day after day, just working on getting a little bit better each day. And so in doing that, that's how they start to see progress. Right? Now, in swimming, progress is not really hard to see. It's like, where's your time now compared to where it was, at the beginning of the season, and that's your progress, right? But recognize that not everyone is going to progress at the same speed and rate. And so I heard this great analogy the other day about human progress and comparing that to popping corn in a kettle. Right? So when you pop corn on the stove, you get the kettle out, you put the oil in, you turn the stove on, and now the oil's hot. You dump all the kernels in at the same time. But they all don't pop at the same time. They pop at the rate, and they pop when they're ready. And so human performance and progress is very similar to that. And so, not every swimmer is going to progress at the same speed as every other swimmer. And so, as a parent, it's important to recognize that being, positive and giving that positive support to your child is really important for them to continue in the sport and continue enjoying it and loving it. All right. Again, not every kernel is gonna pop at the same time, and not every swimmer is gonna improve at the same rate. Generally, for progress at fluid mechanics, we look at 2.5% to 5% of a time improvement each year as being good progress. Now, sometimes when you first join a team, there's so much time to take off that they do increase and get faster at a much more rapid rate. But again, that's going to happen as the swimmer is prepared for it and ready. So, as the swimmer works continuously on their skills, they're going to start seeing progress. It's going to be at different rates. Maybe they had a growth spurt, or maybe they got stronger, or they learned some new technique. But little by little, you should see them making progress. But try not to compare them against anyone else, because again, every kernel in that boiling pot of oil is popping at a different rate. Right? The other thing about swimming too that I've learned, having coached for a very long time in college, is if you don't love swimming, you're probably not going to stick with it, right? And so there have been some very fast swimmers out there who just didn't want to continue to do it because they didn't love it, right? And so helping to be really positive and supportive of your child as they go through this process is really important. See that they're making friends in the sport. Right? Having fun at the swim meets and at the practices. That's what's going to keep them in the sport for a long term. And swimming is a lifetime sport. People start swimming when they're 7 or 8 years old, and they can swim till they're 87 years old. And they have opportunities to do that and master swimming and things like that. But swimming fosters so many great character traits as they do it, like teamwork and dedication, hard work, punctuality, right? And so, what I found as a college coach is that, people at the employer level and at the grad school level, they were looking for those traits, and they were looking for athletes for those reasons, because they knew they had developed that. And so, keeping them in the sport and keeping them enjoying the sport is really crucial at this time. So positive support is really important, and making sure that you're really helping them progress at the rate that's appropriate for them, and not worrying about what other people are doing. In the same way, if you start seeing them comparing themselves to other people, just remind them that each kernel pops at a different rate, and that their time's going to be coming at some point. And so just to be patient and to keep working the system, keep doing what the coach is asking for them to do, and little by little they're going to make their progress if they work on those skills on a daily basis.